What's going on, Gemini? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. Especially with your ruler being retrograde, because this feels like a tough one, Gemini. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Gemini. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I think we're keeping with Gemini. And it keeps us growing. Sidebar. I call Capricorn Cap and Sagittarius Sag, but I think there's, you can only shorten so many there. So many there, Gemini. And for those of you who, alright, enough behind the scenes. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. There you go. I hope that dance kind of redeemed all those shenanigans. But with this, I'm blaming it on the retrograde. My moon's a Gemini. I'm feeling chatty with you, Gemini. But for with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Gemini. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that are like watching Gemini, so definitely check them out. I think you'd really enjoy them. But let's get to your first card here. Oh, interesting, your opposite sign, because you got the 6th card of Sagittarius here, which is the Castle card. And with this card, this is a card of pride, recognition, position, praise for achievements, ego, wealth, ancestry, antiquity, history, legacy, architecture, power, prestige, isolation, the old guard, and timeless. And the energy that's coming through there pretty strongly there, Gemini, is the pride. And I feel like for some, I almost feel like for some, I'm getting this energy of, are we proud of what we've achieved so far? Do we take pride in what we're doing? Whether this is with, I more so feel like working towards your goals with this energy, because this Castle card reminds me of it always gives me like the 10 of Pentacles vibes when we're working towards our legacy and things along those lines. And I feel like it's like looking at the things that you've done up until this point, and whether this could be in our career, maybe this is like building like our home, maybe this could be like with our family, whatever that's looking like. Do we take pride in the things that we've done? And if not, Gemini, how do we get to that place? What are some things that you want to be, and not even necessarily what you're remembered for, like more so, but it's just like, in what ways are we leaving this world and like raising the vibration? How have we done that, or made it better than when we came in here, Gemini? It's part way of some of the energy that's mainly kind of coming through here. But and I feel like that's a very heavy thing to kind of think about, And I feel like for some, because just thinking with like when we're thinking towards the future, like I'm just thinking of Sagittarius energy and like in the ruled by Jupiter, how big those goals and things can be, because that is your opposite sign. And I almost feel like for some it's just like, maybe we're feeling this pressure here to kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like we're kind of just like cranking stuff out, or just trying to do stuff that makes, I don't know, it's just like I feel like it's like we're putting out quantity for some, as opposed to maybe even like putting out more so kind of quality stuff, maybe even, because maybe for some this could be I'm even getting in a more kind of like creative aspect. Maybe this is like, if we happen to be artists or musicians, or maybe just things, maybe because yours a sign, being Mercury ruled, you're good with your hands there, Gemini. Maybe this is something where we're built like, maybe we're building cars, or maybe working on architecture and things along those lines. And it's like maybe for some, it's like, I don't know, it's like being mindful of too, of just like kind of compromising against what you would put out there, like what you're attaching your name to, and like what you're like, what you're attaching your name to, and it's like what you, I don't know, what you're like, even like maybe just like the, even like the people that we've associated with, like even paying attention to like the soul tribe, or a lot of deep stuff. I kind of feel like that's kind of coming through here, Gemini. But for some others, I do feel like that there's this energy of that maybe our pride is kind of getting in the way of some things, whether this be, I don't know, it's like maybe we're, it's like, let's say for example, if you're like, I'm almost getting if like you're like a natural at something, and it's just like you're sort of like, I'm almost getting like a resting on your laurels type of energy, but it's just like we can do more. You know what I mean? It's just like, are we doing our best work here? And it's just like, I don't know, it's like we're letting, and it's almost like we're, maybe some are like trying to get you to push you or something along those lines, but we're sort of just like, I don't know, like it's something that's getting in the way. There is this almost like sense of ego or something that's just like, well, this is like, well, why do I need to do more? Like, it's better than, like, I don't know, it's like it's better than most, but it's just like, but is that the best that you can do? It's like we're not worried about others here. I'm even kind of getting like a Five of Swords energy type of here, but let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. Hmm. All right, thank you. And that's interesting energy, or energy. That's interesting energy, Gemini, because this is one of your cards, the Sun in Gemini here. But let's, oh, and Sagittarius. All right. Oh, a lot of your energy coming through here, Gemini, because you have the Knight of Coins, the King of Swords, and then the Temperance card in reverse here. And then we have the Nine of Swords, and then the Ten of Swords upright. And where do we want to start with this? Let's see. Because I almost feel like for some with this Nine of Swords, more so just like thinking about the things that we're invested in possibly, or that like, are we proud of the things that we've accomplished up until now? I almost feel like there is this anxiety of, I almost feel like for some, it's like this interesting energy with this Nine and Ten of Swords here. So it's like maybe we've been doing things that have been, it's like we've like almost betrayed who we are. I kind of feel like with this Ten of Swords, or it's just like there's been this sort of like compromise that might be kind of happening maybe here for some, and it's just like it's not, because the King of Swords for me, that's one of your cards here, and it feels that it's like we've like, it's like we're going against what we know is us or something along those lines. I'm not sure if this is like a morality thing or what that may be, but I do feel like with the Knight of Coins here, it's just like that for some it's, and I may not be remembering this correctly, so hang with me, Gemini. But I remember talking with someone once about this artist, India.Arie, and I remember they were saying they were watching an interview where she was talking about one of her albums, and it wasn't quite her style, and it was more so for the for the money and things along those lines. Which I mean, I get it. We got bills that we got to pay, and there's no judgment there. But she felt like that she had went against against her like inner artist there, and it just like there wasn't that state of balance. Things were out of harmony with it was something that was forced or something along those lines, and I feel like maybe for some it's just like we're at this, like, I don't know, it's like this crossroads here. I'm not sure. It's just like if we're, maybe we're in like a, if we're in a business partnership, and it's just like, you, when you went into this thing you were having one message, but then now it's become this other thing, and it's just like, do we betray this? It's like, and it feels kind of extreme. It's just like, do we betray this person that we're in business with, for example, or do we betray what we really want to stand for here? Very kind of deep stuff here, Gemini, but I feel like ultimately, Gemini, what you want to do is really stick true to who you are with this Ten of Swords. So again, this is the Sun in Gemini, and it's considering. I almost feel like it's like weighing the options, or just like, because listen, again, you're in a judgment-free zone, but if just like, if it's just, if things aren't going how you plan them to be, it's just like, what can we do to make to change that? Like, are you okay going on this path, knowing this thing here? Because I feel like it's something where we may, maybe for some, it's like we may think we can ignore this thing, but because you got a lot of swords here, but it's just like maybe we think that we can ignore this stuff and maybe kind of cut off how we feel about this thing, but over time that kind of stuff can kind of eat at you, Gemini. So I feel like for some, there's just this something to be mindful of there. But let me get a little bit more with this Temperance card here, Gemini. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here. Interesting. So you have the Temperance card is clarified by the Ten of Wands, the Five of Cups in reverse here, and then you got the Six of Cups upright. With the Six of Cups, this is a card of sharing. One of the aspects of this card, and I feel that it's, I don't know. I feel like with the Ten of Wands and the Five of Cups here, it's being mindful, because the Temperance card, I feel like, can also be like a card of like creation, of alchemy and things. It's just like, it's that alchemical marriage. Like after your card, the it's like, if the Lovers is the alchemical marriage, then like the Temperance card is like the honeymoon. But it's more so, I feel like that this Five of Cups here, I feel like we want to be mindful about, like, I don't know, like, about carrying that weight of, like, carrying that weight of letting ourselves down, and not really kind of sticking to our guns here. Because maybe for some, it's like we're feeling like forced to do something here. Maybe we've been presented with, like, well, Gemini, you do, like, again, this is like a maybe, or maybe this is even like a work thing, for example. Maybe there's the company policy maybe provides that stability, but it doesn't go against your, it's not something that you feel like you want to be associated with. And it's just like, well, you kind of got this ultimatum here. It's just like, do you choose them or do you choose you? And I feel like it's going to be one of those things. You got to figure out what you feel is going to bring you the most peace, and can you really sit with that weight? Because the Ten of Wands is coming through there really heavy, and I feel like that's something that it may be something you feel like you can get through in that moment. But Nine of Swords, that's a nightmare. It's just like recurring, that thoughts recurring over and over and over again. And so, all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, because I feel like it's more so along those lines, and thinking about, just, yeah, are we really kind of sticking to who you really are here, Gemini, and making choices that stay true to you, as opposed to maybe, and I'm even kind of getting to, Gemini, being mindful of I'm even like, because you're a sign of communication, and like one of your aspects. And I feel like being mindful of what you share with others, you know, as far as like what you may be telling people in the sense of like, do you really believe that that is true, or is this something, or because I'm almost getting like an echo chamber type of energy. It's like, are we sharing stuff that really spit to our values? And like, you know, like and I have nothing, this is nothing against, like, you know, I'm not a political or anything along those lines, but just, you know, like something along those lines, just kind of like I hope you get what I'm saying. But you know, let's pour up some tea here, Gemini, because that's an interesting start there. Let's get some tea, and then let's get another oracle on the mix here. This might even be like this could even be for like maybe a relationship. You know, maybe we're going in thinking that we can go in like wanting to do just like a, let's say for example this is just like a marriage for like a relationship for like convenience or like stability and things, but there's no love there, nothing to share there. It's like maybe this is like a family expects us to do this thing, or I don't know, maybe it's like we expect to have this level of, you know, take it as it resonates, Gemini. Okay, interesting. All right, so you have the ninth card of Capricorns here, which is the Master card. And with this card, this is a card of discipline, working smart, focus, structure, teaching, training, conquer, overcome, controlled, learning a skill, in the flow, authoritarian, and commanding presence. And the energy that's coming through here is the authoritarian here, Gemini. And I feel like that I don't know, like I feel like that I'm almost even kind of getting like this emperor energy that's coming through here, where maybe for some it's like I don't know if we feel like we're being like strong armed into, like another example that I'm thinking about is like maybe we're like a creative, you know, maybe you want to do music or art or dance or things along those lines, but then you have like maybe our parental figures or something don't support that, or something along those lines. There's this energy of control here, and it's just like in Gemini, you know, if this is on the flip side, if we're trying to maybe control how others, I don't, you know, take it as it resonates, but it does feel like that there is this energy of something that's trying to control who we really are, or something along those lines, and it's going against this sense of self. This is I don't know, it's like the Knight of Coins here. It's just like it's not like what it's not what we planned. And it's like maybe even with the King of Swords being here, it's just like it almost feels like that maybe there's this energy of like, maybe it's like we're dealing with someone who has this energy of like they know best or something along those lines. But it's like they know it all, and that their way, it's like they're either their way or the highway or something along those lines. Because it's like it's going against your, again, it's going against your true self here. And I feel that you need, like, if there's been that kind of strong arming or something along those lines, Gemini, I feel like you are. We can only give. You know, if we give someone that much power, I almost feel like with the Six of Cups here, like it's just like if we give someone that power, then it's just like we know, it's just like we lose ourselves. It's like we lose our sense of. Let me get some tarot on this and get some details, because this could even be like, again, like a past thing, and it's just like something that we're working on, maybe getting over. Maybe we're learning to, it's like we're getting over maybe even like a certain thought process, you know, something that might have been ingrained in us, that we're, you know, like if you were to do this thing, like I'll be disappointed in you, like I'm not. Yeah, let me get some more on this, Jimmy. This is a lot. Let me see what's going on here. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Gemini. Oops. Interesting. So you have the so you have the sun in reverse here, Gemini. And then you have the Seven of Coins, the Justice card, and then the Hierophant upright here. And I feel like with this energy coming through here, Gemini, because I feel, you and the sun, since I've started this channel, you and the sun have always had a real kind of, I love when the sun pops up for you. Like, it's because you're the one who started the pocket of sunshine. And I feel that it's like for some, it's just like we're not investing in our happiness here. Or for some, it's just like, it feels like that maybe we're thinking more, maybe for some it's like we're been taught to think more along the lines of security here with the Hierophant. And because this is Taurus energy, and Taurus deals with that security and stability and things. But I feel like there's more than just like, if this is a financial thing, for example, there's more to invest in yourself than just that. You have to think about your happiness as well. And I'm kind of feeling for some too that maybe we've gotten into this, because the Justice card can kind of deal with, and that's interesting, but the Justice card can deal with like law type of stuff too. And maybe like I'm thinking like contracts, and maybe for some it's like we've gotten into this contract and we've invested in this thing, and it's like now we don't know how to get out of this stuff. It's like, like, or without getting into any sort of like, this is just for some, it feels like a business maybe type of thing. Or maybe this is like, again, like in a marriage or something along those lines, that it's just like where we feel like there's this sense of I don't know, it's like we're bound or something along those lines there, Gemini. And or maybe this is somewhere where it's just like maybe we're in the phase right now. Maybe we've been presented some sort of like opportunity in here. And these I want to say they're Mayans or Incans. They're performing a sacrifice in here. And I feel like the question is like how much you're willing to sacrifice for whatever this is. Are we willing to sacrifice ourselves and our pride and our what really sticks true to us? And the Justice card can also be a card of cause and effect. And so I feel that it's, and it's paying attention to, yeah, it's like I'm almost even getting like a paying attention, like there's a karmic energy that's kind of coming through here with the Justice card as well. All right, Gemini, I think I might pull out of that. But just kind of one more thing, just thinking with the Justice card, because this is Libra energy. And one that's interesting because both Taurus and Libra are ruled by the Empress, Venus. But I'm also thinking just like with Mars being just entering Libra not too long ago, just be mindful of the people you associate with, Gemini. Like, and don't forget your happiness, and all right, but let's get your last card here. Okay, so let's make a little team. Let's get your last card. Thank you. Okay, Gemini. So you have the ninth card of Virgos here, which is the fishing pole card. And with this card, this is a card of self-reliance, extended oneself, autonomy, mentoring others, poetry, emotion, exploration, providing, connect with nature, accomplishments, reflection, self-improvement, and capable. An energy that's coming through here, Gemini, is the self-reflection. And I almost am getting like a just like an like just kind of evaluating Gemini as far as like the and then like reflecting on the choices that we've made, the maybe this like the people that we may associate ourselves with, and how again like that justice energy, like how that has changed your life up until now, and how that's really kind of shaped your world. Because I feel that there may be, for some, it's just like the foundation may not be what we truly want, or maybe it's like we've been told that we want a certain type of thing here, but it's just like, is that truly? And here's the thing, too, Gemini. I feel like, let's say we have made some sort of decisions, and maybe we feel like there's not a way for us to. We may feel like we're in too deep, and that we can't change this things up. I feel like that where there's a will, there's a way there. It's just like it's trying to find that way. It may be a difficult one, but I feel like that it is possible if we believe that we can do this thing. But I do feel like that there's. And I mean, it's like I'm even like kind of popped in my head. It's just like, are we really just being who is this who we really want to be? Or let me get some tarot on this. Thank you. All right, last little bit here, Gemini. All right, so you have the Eight of Wands in reverse here, and then you have the Nine of Cups, the Page of Cups, and then the Ace of Swords upright. Now let's switch back over here, Gemini, because this seems rather intense. Like, this is, for some, I feel that, I don't know, there's this energy here with like the Nine of Cups and Page of Cups. It's just like, are we really following our heart here? Are we doing things that truly resonate with what we want? I feel like that it's just like that maybe we've went with this idea for a while with the Ace of Swords being here. We've got this thing like ingrained in our head, and I'm not sure. It's like, for some, I almost feel like it's like we're maybe too proud to admit that we might have made a mistake, or that we've done something that has been, again, like it's just like we're in too deep, and so we're just kind of committing to this thing. But I feel like it's, with the Eight of Wands being here in reverse, it's. I almost feel like that. It's like, for some, it's like I don't know. It's like I feel like that things are starting to catch up, is what I'm kind of getting with this Eight of Wands. It's just like we've been just kind of doing this stuff. It's just like, this been kind of casting this energy throughout there, and just really just sort of like, it almost feels like that. It's like we're, maybe for some, it's like we're doubling down even for honest decision again. Like, it's like we're almost like kind of like, in a sense, almost like just like putting up, like almost gaslighting yourself in a way, or just like putting this like. Let me get a little bit more on this Eight of Wands here, Gemini, before we get out of here. Because the thing with the Nine of Cups to think about is that, that's, it's like a magnet. That's if I'm remembering, yes, that's Jupiter in Pisces. And the tricky thing with Jupiter is, where Jupiter is an abundant planet, it's, he doesn't care what vibration you're in. And I know it's like, you got to be. Let me get some more on this Eight of Wands before we. Hmm. So the Eight of Wands is clarified by the Page of Swords upright and then the Seven of Swords in reverse. And you gotta, you gotta got quite a bit of swords here. I feel like that are kind of racking up here, Gemini, and I feel like that it's like these thoughts and these ideas that we may have going on here that we may have invested in, Gemini. I feel like there's a need with the Seven of Swords. Again, there's this honesty that's needing to happen here as far as just like, is this who you really want to be? Is this the person, like, it's a combination of, I feel like, what we're investing, what we're doing, and maybe what we've invested and what we've built, but also I feel like maybe even more so on like a personal level. You're like, I don't know, you're Ten of Pentacles, like you just, it's even like maybe for some it's like we've even like built this like, I don't know, it's like we've built a persona. All right, Gemini. I think I'm gonna pull out of that, but I hope I hope that made sense, because that's a lot to think about. But if any of that resonated with you, I even feel weird saying that, Gemini. If give us a thumbs up, Gemini, if we've been, I don't know if this is something we've been thinking about and maybe we feel like maybe afraid to share that. Or I'm not sure, Gemini. Just, I'm like, because it, like, when the readings have been really tough here as of late, and it feels weird to kind of say to give it a thumbs up in that sort of aspect. But I mean, of course I want that, because, I want, if you like the video, but, or something resonated with you, got you thinking, or but share this, Gemini. If you know someone who's maybe kind of gone against themselves or have been, however that's looking like, Gemini. And then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. Let's lighten up the energy a little bit. Let's add a little sunshine on the mix. Because if you got any Cancer in your placements, Gemini, whew, perks of having a Gemini moon, be able to kind of switch that up a little bit. But if you got any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and it's a good old time. All that housekeeping, Gemini, is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Gemini. You got the Seven of Cups here. And that's interesting, because I almost am getting like it's like we've been, like, for, I don't know, it's like for some it's like it's like we have all these options of who we want it to be, but I feel like that maybe for some it's just like because I'm getting almost like that we've sold out or something, or like a sellout type of energy for and this doesn't necessarily have to be like, I don't. Just something to think about there, Gemini. Let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Because, and really take this time, since the reflection had came through, and that's interesting that it would come through on Virgo. Because, your ruler is retrograde in Virgo. And you're, Mercury's going to be retrograding in all the earth signs this year. And, that's thinking about the earth energy deals with this material realm here, and how we manifest, and our health and things along those lines. And yeah, just paying attention to the things that you're manifesting here, Gemini. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Let's see what's going on here, Gemini. Alright, Gemini, so you got the Serpent card here. And the Serpent card, I feel like that I don't like, it's interesting, and this is a interesting way of reading this, because but the serpent card almost feels like that there's like a something that's kind of like a like either a thought or maybe a person or something, because snakes aren't meant to be like, snakes are meant to be like this mystical, because the serpent card is this sort of like that, getting that kundalini energy. It's like it's this it's this kind of raw type of like intuition, that sort of like untapped wild magic that you haven't, that's looking to be brought into. But I feel like that for some it's just like it's like this energy of something has like kind of slithered in, or something that's making in this like kind of I don't know, it's like it's taking your energies, and it's just like it's doing something that doesn't flow with you, that really sticks to that true Gemini energy. Or and that can be tricky, I feel like, maybe too, just with you being a sign of duality. And it's just like I feel like that the twins aren't on the same page. And but it's like it's one thing for them, I know they, I get that switch, like that operating differently, but I feel like they're really off here. Like it's something doesn't feel right with this. So just kind of sit with that, Gemini. But you stay safe out here, or out there, Gemini, and do things that are true to you. Follow your light and your guidance there. Follow sunshine. Follow your sunshine. You know, raise your vibration through the roof. However that's looking like. Because, even if we have done something that we went against ourselves, and it's just like we got a mess that we need to clean up, it's fine. This is a learning experience, this journey. We're spiritual beings going through a human experience, and we're going to make mistakes along the way. But that doesn't mean that when you've made that mistake that you have to commit to that all the way. You don't have to just wholly invest in that. You can reflect and adjust and grow from that. Shed that skin, Gemini, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.